Hey, how are you doing? This is Ricky said from Subscribe to Comment Reloaded. On this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to download the code from the GitHub Repository and add it to your website so that you can test for any new code that I develop and that I release before the code is fully released on the WordPress site. The purpose for this is that for sometimes I have to make a whole process to deploy the code into the WordPress repository, and I cannot do this for only small changes. So I always do that when I have to make major updates on the plugin. So, but if you feel that you can test the code without any problem, well, you can take these steps, and this basically you download the code and you upload it into your site. So I'm going to pretend that I am connecting an FTP with an FTP client, but in fact I'm going to be only working on my local computer, but the step will be the same for your site. So for example, if I've got to the GitHub site where the plugin is located, you can find a green button here, and then you click and you can see that you can download it as a zip file. But something before downloading, I want to mention that on the GitHub there are some branches where the code is maintained. The master branch is where this table code is, so when I have small changes that I want to test or something, I always deploy the code into another branch, which is the pre-release branch. So on this branch, if I click it, I'm going to switch to it, and you see that it says here branch pre-release. This latest commit, I added a new improvement to improve the way the plugin works with CSS. There are some issues from the users requesting that they don't want to load the CSS file from the plugin in every page. So what I did, I improved that, and I only load the CSS where it is used and in no other place. So I am located on the pre-release branch, and then I go to clone or download. I click on the download as a zip file, and then I'm going to download it into a folder that I have here. It's a random folder, but for example, if I download the file, you see that it's completed, and then you go to the file and you have to unpack it. You have to unpack it because on the plugin repository there are other files that are needed for the WordPress site, but the core code of the plugin is inside the subscribe to comment reloaded folder. So if I open it, this is the folder that I have to upload into the website. You can do that by connecting with the FTP, or you can go directly into your cPanel client and upload it, but I always suggest to do it with an FTP client. So if you're in your website, you will find the three folders of WordPress. You have to go to the WP content, you go to the plugins, and then you will find the subscribe to comments reloaded folder, where you have to do either you can deactivate the code, or you can directly delete it. But for some changes, it is important that you deactivate and activate the code. So for example, I have I go into the dashboard, and then I go to the plugin site, and you will see that I have the plugin. I am going to deactivate the plugin, which is the same process that you will do on your website. And then after you deactivate it, you go here into the FTP client, and then you delete the subscribe to comments reloaded folder. Okay, it's deleted, and then you will go to the code that you downloaded and copy the folder here into the plugin site, which is the same as uploaded into your site. So now I have the new code here on the website, and I just go and refresh the plugins page, and then I just go and click and activate. After I click on activate, you will have the new code running in your site. So for instance, if you have any error in your code, I always suggest to back up the original one, because for some users or for some environments it will cause their website to clash. So I always recommend to have a backup of your original plugin code. Do not create the backup on the same folder where you have the plugin, because if you had like underscore backup or any date, you will have two codes, because the WordPress does not read exactly the name of the folder. It reads a file where it has the main information of the code. So if you have two folders of subscribe to comment reloaded or any other plugin, you will confuse the WordPress and you will get unexpected result. So I always recommend to have a backup in a different folder. So basically this is all what you have to do to install a new version of the plugin. And this is I can say the hard way. There's also the easier way, but this is when the code is already uploaded into the WordPress site, which I will do another video. And don't forget to rate the plugin on the WordPress site, and always I appreciate the donations that you give so that I can keep maintaining the code. And I always thank for all those people who have contributed into the code, and your contribution have helped a lot. And thank you very much, and talk to you later.